Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, or just Diddy, wasn't just a rapper. He became a powerhouse who reshaped hip-hop culture from the 1990s onward. His journey started with Bad Boy Records, a label that quickly became iconic by signing stars like Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and Mace. Over the next 3 decades, Diddy expanded his empire into fashion, vodka brands, and even reality TV, positioning himself not just as an entertainer, but as a cultural titan worth nearly $1 billion. He was celebrated as a 3-time Grammy winner, known for lavish parties, celebrity friendships, and a seemingly unstoppable public image. But beneath all that glitter and glamour, questions lingered. Questions that are now exploding into the public spotlight, threatening to erase everything he ever built. It all came crashing down in September 2024 when federal agents stormed Diddy's lavish homes in Los Angeles and Miami. The sudden raids stunned fans and sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, signaling that this wasn't a minor legal hiccup. It was serious. Arrested and held without bail, Diddy found himself facing chilling allegations: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking involving force, fraud, and coercion, and transportation for prostitution. Prosecutors claim these crimes span more than 15 years, painting a disturbing portrait of an entirely different Sean Combs, a far cry from his charismatic public persona. Almost overnight, the man known for commanding rooms was confined to a cell, waiting for a trial that could rewrite his legacy forever. At the heart of these shocking charges is something prosecutors chillingly call freak-offs, secretive, fueled gatherings allegedly orchestrated by Combs himself. These weren't ordinary parties. Prosecutors described them as disturbing, carefully choreographed encounters involving male escorts, female victims, and Combs directing and recording explicit acts. According to court documents, participants were allegedly plied with substances to keep them compliant and submissive, with violence and threats reportedly used to maintain control. This dark underworld described by authorities was completely at odds with the public image Diddy had carefully crafted over decades, sending shockwaves through his fan base and leaving many asking how much of this disturbing narrative is true. One of the most powerful moments of the trial came when Cassie, Diddy's former girlfriend and a successful R&B star, took the stand. Cassie didn't hold back, bravely detailing a decade-long ordeal of physical and psychological abuse. She described how these so-called freak-offs became a draining routine, more like a job than anything else. Cassie recounted painful, graphic episodes where she was allegedly forced into encounters with escorts, subjected to conflict, substances, and constant surveillance by Combs himself, who reportedly watched and recorded it all. This testimony wasn't just emotional. It included startling evidence, like surveillance footage from a 2016 incident in a Los Angeles hotel hallway, showing Diddy harshly striking Cassie. Though he later issued a public apology, admitting disgust at his actions, his legal team maintains this was merely part of a complex but consensual relationship. But Cassie's vivid courtroom revelations painted a very different, haunting picture, forcing everyone to confront the possibility of a much darker truth behind the scenes. Cassie's explosive testimony was only the beginning. The trial quickly turned into a parade of startling claims, with several high-profile witnesses and shocking celebrity connections brought into the spotlight. Former employees like assistant George Kaplan described witnessing regular physical violence and intimidation by Diddy, even recalling disturbing moments when he hurled objects in anger at girlfriends. Dawn Richard, once a member of Diddy's music groups Danity Kane and Dirty Money, testified openly about his violent threats and controlling behavior towards Cassie, while stylist Deontay Nash echoed similar claims about relentless verbal mistreatment. Even more shocking was rapper Kid Cudi's testimony. He revealed an unsettling incident where Diddy allegedly broke into his home, disturbing his dog and opening Christmas gifts, reportedly driven by jealousy over Kid Cudi's brief relationship with Cassie. Other dramatic accounts included a former assistant claiming she was kidnapped at gunpoint by Combs during a bizarre attempt to confront Kid Cudi, and hotel security describing a chilling encounter with a blank-eyed, devilish Diddy caught on CCTV. These testimonies peeled back layers of celebrity glamour, exposing unsettling allegations that have deeply shaken the entertainment world and left everyone wondering how many more secrets might still come out. Facing these chilling accusations, Combs' legal team has fired back aggressively, insisting that their client is not the villain prosecutors portray him to be. In court, his attorneys argued passionately that the case isn't about crime. It's about complicated personal relationships twisted by money, jealousy, and revenge. Defense lawyer Tenny Garagos conceded openly that Diddy was far from perfect, admitting he lived an extravagant, sometimes intense, and deeply controversial lifestyle. But, she stressed, none of that lifestyle was criminal. Instead, she portrayed Combs as a target, singled out unfairly by prosecutors who she claimed are motivated by racial bias and sensationalism rather than justice. According to the defense, many of these accusers have financial motives, suggesting these explosive claims are more about cashing in than exposing truth. With this defense strategy, the battle lines were clearly drawn, turning the courtroom into an intense clash of narratives that could redefine Diddy's legacy forever. Even beyond the criminal trial, the fallout from the Diddy case has spiraled into a wave of civil lawsuits, some dating back decades. Multiple women and former associates have come forward in recent months, filing lawsuits that accuse Combs of intimate assault, emotional abuse, intimidation, and even witness tampering. These aren't just anonymous claims. Many come from people who were close to Diddy, who now say they were either victimized or silenced through warnings, hush money, or fear. The scope of these allegations is staggering. One particularly explosive lawsuit claims that Diddy played a behind-the-scenes role in the East Coast versus West Coast beef that led to Tupac Shakur's murder, an accusation that has circulated in rumors for years but is now being echoed in legal filings. There are even claims that Jay-Z, once a close ally, was threatened or manipulated in business dealings involving Diddy, a situation that, while unproven, has sparked major controversy and conspiracy theories online. The reputational damage is already immense. Brands have pulled partnerships, music platforms are quietly distancing themselves, and public opinion, especially among longtime fans, is deeply divided. For some, these are the receipts they always feared existed. For others, it's a painful unraveling of a hero they grew up idolizing. Diddy, once untouchable, is now a walking cautionary tale, a case study in how quickly power and legacy can be wiped away by the truth, or at least the perception of it. If convicted, Sean Combs could face decades behind bars, with some charges carrying the possibility of life imprisonment. The man who once ruled hip-hop could end up spending the rest of his life in a prison cell, but the damage may already be done. Regardless of how this trial ends, Diddy's name, once synonymous with success and swagger, may forever be associated with betrayal, manipulation, and pain.